Hello, Ifeanyi. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Trust you're having a great day.
Yes, I am, and you, sir.
I'm doing very fine. So let me give a brief of introduction. I believe this is going to be like the first time of you getting to like talk to me personally. My name is Apaka Collins Chinendu. I recently joined DataraFlow as the program manager, and we are taking time to interview a lot of our final graduates to get to understand how their experiences has been during the program and to get to like draw insights from them to be sure that they did get the right benefits from the program. So I just want to like get to know you. So
So I think, sir, can you hear me? I want to be sure.
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, because I think I lost where you after you said you just want to know me. I think after that word I couldn't think the network.
Okay. So what I'm saying is I just like want to get to know a brief about you personally, your name, just a personal detail that you feel comfortable sharing.
All right, yeah. Thank you so much for that. My name is Ezerioha Ifeanyi Emmanuel, and a graduate of statistics from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and aside from studying statistics, I also went for that to put to practice the knowledge I gained in statistics in a field that would be beneficial. And when I decided to delve into data analytics, right, that was after comparing other niches we have in the tech industry. And from there, I got to connect with people who are experts in the industry. And that was attending various events, tech events, and one of the events I attended was the DevFest Owerri, I think 2021. And in that event, we had a couple of let's say leads, GDG leads, and also tech let's say people who are piloting the affairs of tech in especially in Owerri, the city of Owerri, and it happens that the founder of DataraFlow was also a member there. So he spoke at that event, and when he was speaking, right, one of the things he made mention was I had done a lot of things in the industry, the tech industry, and some of the things he had done was data science. So when he made that mention, data science, I knew I was still finding my feet shaking. So I just told myself, I think this is someone who I need to connect with so that I can at least learn one or two. So from there, I got to connect with team, I think virtually or summer. Then I still went further to connect with other industries. I mean tech guys in the industry, the data ecosystem, and these ones asking them how they're able to move from beginner level to maybe the level where they've gotten into. And I found out that to thrive in data science, the knowledge of data analytics is essential. And so learning data analytics was what I did. So sourcing for materials, trying to learn, of looking for free resources I could lay my hands on, because I understand that learning costs a lot. We will talk about light, talk about data. All right, so I was thinking if I could just use the funds I have to, I mean, spend on data, at least a free resource is going to go a long way. So sourcing for those resources helped me to garner these skills, learning, I mean, various tools in the data ecosystem and the likes of it. So I think this is okay. And also still that learning this has also helped me in a way that I attended a couple of boot camps, and one of the things um that proved to me that okay, at least I am at least doing I could do well, right? It's participating in one of the boot camp by Data Science Nigeria, which is one of the leading industry when it comes to data science in the state or in the country rather.
Yeah.
So I attended the boot camp, and after the learning I still participated because they always have an in-house hackathon like for the ML
Okay.
guys and also for Power BI. So I did participate in the Power BI track, and coming up, I mean, as the second runner up, I mean, was an exciting thing, even though it was least expected. But that at least to a level show that the work have been put in for this couple of work paid off. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you very much. I think your answer is very in-depth. And starting from GDG Owerri, because currently I'm based in Owerri, and last year I was one of the speakers in the Dev Fest Owerri that happened at somewhere around Port Harcourt Road or so. So
Yeah.
I would say it's good that you have this level of drive for data science and generally machine learning. You always like striving to get knowledge and resources. And I believe from everything you've said, what has motivated you to like get into the machine learning and AI program we have in DataraFlow?
Okay. Something that has been a motivating factor is this. I understand that AI and machine learning is the will I say is what is going to move the world in this century we are, and no industry we can think of runs without data, and anyone who can make right of this data definitely is going to champion a lot of things. And since I know I already have a foundational knowledge which is statistics, because data science machine learning is built upon statistics, maths, and other knowledges. So, and since I already have a foundational knowledge, so that is just like um, having an edge. And I know that, okay, since I already have this and the world is driving towards this direction, how well can I position myself to put to practice the foundational knowledge I have and also learn? So that was one of the drive. I said, okay, I need to, move into this industry and see how I can use. And I'm one of the person that like to think around a problem and see if there's a way I could use the skill I have to be able to solve, this problem. So I think with this kind of personality, that has been what has been driving me to journey into data science.
Okay. Thank you very much for that answer. So, like a follow-up question is going to be, what are like your expectations? You see that flow program, you did apply. What were like the expectations that we are having before joining the program as regards what's the outcome, expected outcome for you was supposed to be like?
Okay, my expectation before joining DataraFlow was to having a clear roadmap is essential. I think someone once made mention that one of the skill that is needed in this century is knowing what to learn at the right time. Even as we have a lot of, because we have LLMs, we have agentic AI and a lot of things. So the skill that is needed is knowing what to learn per time. So, and I feel since there is a clear roadmap that DataraFlow is have on ground to enable people gather this skill, be it in machine learning, AI, and generative AI. So having knowing that, okay, the aspect of looking for a clear roadmap is not mine to do. There is a structure on ground, and I also believe that with the expertise of the founder and the people involved, that they are definitely going to bring in the needed resources to ensure that whoever follows up through these courses is going to find his feet strong in this industry. So, and my expectation was to be able to learn, to be able to put to practice, and I'm so happy knowing that going through this course, I could say, okay, I could decide to run a research, right? Because during this period we learned about research writing, and during this process of research writing, thinking about looking for problem that we think we already have the foundational skill. How well can you now put this to solve a problem that is existing in the society? And that was what my expectation was, because publishing paper is one of the things that at least that shows what person that actually shows how well someone is doing in an industry, because public
Yeah.
researches is not an easy thing. So, and it has been my desire for the year, as in for the year 2026, to at least publish ML based research paper. And I'm glad that even during in the program there is a structure for every intern to be able to publish, to make a research and make sure it is published in a reviewed journal. So, and I'm glad that some of these expectations have been fulfilled, and also it's not also all about learning, right? If I think they say we need to learn before we earn, and also and we say that after learning this, I need to also ensure that this learning is bringing in resources. And I'm glad that so far I've been able to put this into practice and also get funds in return to what I've done. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Those are very in-depth answers. So how do you, in one sentence, how would you describe your whole experience in the program?
Well, the my whole experience is, I would say, is will I say the survival of the fittest, right? Think there's a program I did that they will say that has a slogan that doing the hard thing, right? They believe and DataraFlow still has that it's not about how difficult a task is, right? It's about how you approach it. I think Sawina would always say it's not just about making a submission, right? But how excellent are you in making that submission? Are you trying to just do it because you don't want to be dropped, right? Or are you trying to garner the knowledge and ensure that you deliver excellence per time? So, and my whole experience was just trying to ensure, no matter how difficult it is, right? How well can you withstand? Because working on that project, you have a time frame, a limited time to work on something so complex. How well can you try to manage your time to be able to, learn what is needed, try to approach the task, and reach out to whoever is needed, right? So my experience
Yeah.
was just about a platform that is accommodating, right? Because times abound whereby if you have a problem, there are people who are definitely, there to assist, because I could note a couple of times where you have to jump on a call to ensure that people aren't stuck in maybe learning a particular type of concept. So my experience in DataraFlow was just um an accommodating one, if I would say.
Okay. Okay. So you talked about doing hard things. I think I know the program you're talking about here. That's going to be ALX.
Yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I also did ALX. I did HNG internship. I did a lot of everything that has to be defined as hard in Nigeria, so that I
Yes,
always
very
wanted to
hard. Mhm.
expose myself to those very, very difficult tech programs, and let me come out and be sure that yes, I tried it. Okay, so
Exactly.
thank you very, very much. Um,
Mm.
so during your process in the process of learning in DataraFlow, what were the skills and tools that you learned? What are the new skills and tools that you learned and you picked up?
Okay, I think before DataraFlow, right? I would say I had I had little knowledge about machine learning, right? Because like I said, there wasn't a clear roadmap I was following before now. So I had learned some concept about I think theoretical knowledge about machine learning, and to an extent built maybe basic machine learning models. But some of the things I
Okay.
learned in DataraFlow was, at least I built upon what I've known before, right? Because I had left machine learning for over a year and focused more on the analytics part. So DataraFlow was just another time to furnish what I had known and also learn, a skill. I think one of the things I had wanted to do before now was trying to know how NLP works. So, and I learned how to, in the process of building an NLP model, right? Even from the aspect of tokenization to lemmatization and the like. So I learned about NLP, which is a field I had wanted to learn, because a couple of persons have been doing it for years, and I was thinking, how do they do that? So I was able to learn that in the period of this internship, and also about building agents, right? I've seen people talk about agents they built. So building agent was another skill I learned, learning about um, the Azure platform, learning about what was it called? Scikit-learn, in-depth knowledge about the scikit-learn and other libraries that are needed for generative AI and for NLP based researches. So these are some of the skills I learned.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. It's a good thing that you are able to come in and pick a thing or two. That's fulfilling for us as a team that did set this up. So Um, so which part of the program did you think was most impactful? So there are different aspects of the program. It could be from projects to lectures to teamwork to the external mentors we brought in to like every other aspect. So what part of these different composition did you think was the most impactful for you as a person?
Uh, I think this is a difficult question to answer because all aspects of the program were impactful, right? And I think one of the I to me I would still say we can't compare physical lecture to recorded videos, right? And because in physical lectures we get to ask question when someone is making a statement compared to a recorded video that you just have to digest whatever is being said. So I think situations that like weekly classes that helps to explain more of these concepts were some of the impactful one, and the sessions that are these external judges, give their 2 cents in terms of the demo project we are building. I think these are the, aspect of the program that stood out.
Okay, okay. So the class office hours and also the external personnel that were coming in to give their 2 cents, that was like, okay. So I do understand that you have been able to secure a role since you did graduate out as a finalist. So how practical and industry relevant were the coursework we had in the curriculum? So since you've started working, how much of the things you've learned from the program were you able to transfer into your new job?
Okay, I think at the moment I have not, because I think it was about last week I got the role, and the first task to do, just I just got the first task today, so I'm still in the process of reviewing. So it's
Okay.
basically research articles. So, and I think on the long run it's just going to revolve around the research and also the analytics part of it. So that,
Okay. Okay, that's good then. That's good. That's good. So since we've talked a lot about the experience and the impact so far, so let's move on to like the challenges and areas for growth you get. For you personally, what was like the most challenging part of the program for you?
the most challenging.
The most challenging part of the program.
Okay, the most challenging part of the program was um, trying to meet up with deadline and having personal issues. Right. I think within the period of the program, I had to visit dental clinic. It was even during the part of the program that I had about two extraction of my tooth. I also had to also visit
Wow.
hospitals, and most time of this period, yeah, I have to be at the clinic trying to meet up. Also had, I mean, other engagement I was involved. So trying to ensure that none side of the activity I'm involved so far was one of the things. Trying to meet up with the deadline, because um like whenever I just want to make a submission, the word Sarina would always say it's not about just submitting, right? Is how excellent is your submission. So with that in mind, I didn't just want to just make any submission, right? So trying to
Yeah.
make sure that something that is excellent, as well as ensure that other parts of will I say of my personal lives aren't endangered, or will I, if that's the word, where or everything is still running intact, was something that was challenging. And also we also know that this learning requires having electricity, and in this country where we are, and we can't vouch for the electricity we have unless we have to provide for it. So these were some of the challenges that were faced during this period.
Okay. Okay. You have it. So how are you able to overcome some of these challenges?
Okay, I was able to do that was for the submission, right? I Because we're able to use about, I think we're making use of Google Colab to always submit. So I always make sure for that, to always ensure I meet up with that. I ensure that I, to a large extent, over 90% of what I'm to submit is ready. Then I make the submission, and Collab is such is has is the tool that you can always still work on the file you are submitting. So that I mean accessibility to still work on something while we are with being graded was some of the things I tried to what's the word now? I try to leverage, right? Trying to ensure that I fill up to a larger percentage and make the submission while I still complete it to ensure that all submissions or all criteria were met. This was something I leveraged. And also when there are issues, I try to reach out to someone who I know had submitted to ask how the person approached the challenge when or if he or she faced this challenge and how he or she was able to overcome them. So I had to leverage fellow interns to be able to meet up with the task.
Okay, okay. It's a good thing that you are able to like leverage on your teammates and also follow interns. So that's like the whole idea where it is a sort of peer-based learning. Because if you don't know this part, I know this part, I should be able to share that knowledge with you and in turn also get to learn a thing or two from you also. Okay, so moving on from there, the next thing is going to be the way you see things now. So how has the program rather changed how you approach problem solving and learning? You get me? Like you said, learning with recorded video is not the same as physical classes and the likes. So how has this program changed your approach to problem solving and learning?
Okay, DataraFlow has been able to change the way I see things in the sense that I think there was a time in the course content whereby a concept that was used in the video has been outdated, right? Like using a particular syntax has been, I think it has been outdated. So and we were also told that we shouldn't just rely 100% on that. So there is a need to always try to search out or still look out for other content that are going to help us understand better. So what this has taught me is in as much as I have a resources I'm using to understand the concept, I shouldn't just depend wholly on that. I should still consult other resources, other materials that is going to help me, solidify this knowledge. And that is, one of the things I've been doing. And I think, yeah, that's one of the things the program has helped me achieve.
Okay, okay. So basically the program has also like brought you out of your shell and make you do things that would enable you collaborate and the likes. Okay, so amongst all the things you've learned in the program, amongst all the new skills you've picked up, amongst all the new ways of seeing learning, of seeing problem solving you've picked up, like what are you most proud of achieving during the program? What do you feel
One
proud the most about?
Okay, what I feel proud the most about wasn't just about completing the program, right? And not also, maybe clinching the fourth position. I Because whenever I make submission, right, I know in during the days in the university, there were times where students were angry because even though they made an A, right, because the score wasn't like, no, we know 70 is an A, 71 is an A, but they are not the way they see it, they become annoyed because they were expecting like an 80, 90, right? So it's this data flow just made me understand why, because they are, even though my lowest score, I think the program was just 80, but I wasn't happy about it, like, because getting 90, getting 100 was something I've seen and I've done. Then when I see a drop in a score, it pained me as if I got something below. So one of the things that I was grateful about was, in as much as I was able to graduate, at least I didn't get below a 90% overall score. So that was something I would say, despite both the late submission, because the late submission always came with a 10% deduction. And I know this actually affected the score because I had a couple of late submission when there was in bulk of load. So, but I still ensure that even at that, I didn't still go below the 90%. I think it was 91.7 or 3 I had. So it was something I was happy to get.
Okay, so I'm just like going to move on from that. So, what do you like the most about the program?
Okay. one thing I like about the program was that we are open to, will I say, contribution. Is that yes,
Okay.
we are open to suggestion, right? It might be because I know a couple of times whereby a deadline was set, and when we raise issues of maybe facing difficulty that could, make us not meet up to deadline, we're always, we are always given the chance to still, the days for submission was always, elongated or spread so that we can be able to meet up with that. I think having that kind of structure whereby you don't just have a rigid structure whereby you still try to hear from the learners and know if there's a difficulty they are facing and how you can help. I think that was one of the things I like, because I know a couple of programs that once a date is set, the like of HNG, once a date is set, it doesn't exceed that week, and there's nothing
Yeah.
that happens that would make them revert it. So DataraFlow, was embracing, trying to get to hear from their intent.
Okay. As much as we are embracing, I don't think we want to be embracing, but yeah, it's good to also hear that we are embracing. Anyways, moving on. So, you've talked about it being embracing. If there are areas you want improvements to happen on in data flow, what are these areas going to be?
Okay, I think one of the area I would, an improvement should be done about is, we understand that there are concepts that are so complex to be able to fully understand the scope of it within, will I say, a week timeline, right? I think if the content can be structured in a way that at least on an average level we are expected that an average person is expected to understand this concept within this period, right? Because I think because of due to the timeline of the program, which is 6 months, so and what is expected to be learned, there are a lot of things that were compressed to be learned within time frame. I think one of the things that would be helpful is because the program is open to both beginners and like, and I think if I was a total beginner, I think I'm pretty sure I would have dropped because of how intense the program is, learning new concept and trying to meet up. If the structure could be in a way that they aren't too robust to complete within a week, I think that would be better.
Okay, okay. Those are like very, very important feedback you've shared. And I'm going to like share that with the team so we see how to go about that. So now you've set areas for improvement. So if you could change one thing in data flow, you have the sole chance. You have made the lead for one day and you had the chance to say, okay, this thing, let us take it out. What is it going to be?
Hmm. Okay, if I have a chance to change something, um, I think currently every structure is in place, right? But I think it got to the point where I got to when um the late submission of a thing was brought in. I understand that it's to ensure that because no one will feel, good seeing that I made a submission earlier and someone who takes a longer time still meets up. I mean, parties. I think a lot of persons have different perspective, right? So I think left for me the late submission. In as much as someone does a late submission, it doesn't still deny the fact that who is after excellence will still be after excellence. So even though you give someone who is not about excellence 10 days to do a task, it doesn't still, mean the person is going to do something that is excellent. So I think the late submission of a thing is something. If I have the, I'm going to revert it.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. Um, I have asked you like the most of the questions, so we just have like three more questions left. So I would let you have a good time. So,
Yeah.
how do you describe data flow to someone considering applying?
Okay, to me, data flow. How I'll tell someone is that data flow is that platform, right? You need to get your feet running, right, and still be on track especially if you are looking forward to thrive in the data science ecosystem. So DataraFlow is that platform that um tells you that, I think it's just, will I say, just like a mini organization whereby you work, we meet with people, because DataraFlow is not just about just learning and for the sole purpose of learning. There's a need for you to also be open to help when the need arises, right? If
Yeah.
you know a concept and someone in need, there's nothing that stops you from saying, "Oh, I don't, because I know this. I only want the knowledge to be for me." You have persons who are open to learning, right? Who are willing to ensure that you are not stuck when it comes to a concept. So DataraFlow is that program that is going to hold you by your hands and walk you through the end of the program. So that's what I would describe DataraFlow to someone.
Okay. Thank you very much. So would you recommend DataraFlow to someone and why?
Yeah, 100%. Just like I think this, because I know how it helped me, right? And besides just the learning, right? I believe there are definitely future opportunities that data flows are offering. Imagine if a program is just a free program, but trying to still give out like say scholarships to people who didn't pay any money to join, right? It shows that okay, if they can do this for the first cohort, you can just imagine what's going to happen as the program continues to go on. So I
True.
would 100% recommend it to someone, and because I see the bigger picture. I see a bigger picture and great thing that DataraFlow will definitely offer.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. One last question, Mr. Ifeanyi. Any final thoughts or message to the future participants?
Okay. To the future participants, like I was saying, or like it is contained in the document that they would be filling. DataraFlow isn't an easy program, right? And um I believe we can do it, right? If we had
Yeah.
people, if I can, I don't want to say if I can do it because someone would say, I already have knowledge about the field, and that is why I was able. But I believe everyone who is determined and who feels there is a need, nothing good comes easy, right? If you feel you want to thrive in the data ecosystem, right? DataraFlow has the capacity to be able to walk you through that. All you just need is you need your resilience, you need grit, you need determination to be able to move from the beginning to the starting line to the finishing line. It's not going to be an easy job, right? You are going to encounter roadblocks, but DataraFlow is giving DataraFlow has the capacity or has individuals or has the strength and capacity to help you overcome those stumbling blocks you are going to encounter on your way to achieving excellence. So to the future participants, just believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think I would say that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Ifeanyi. We appreciate your feedback and the whole lot of insights you have given to us. Thank you very much. We appreciate. So, we are going to reach out to you in future, just in case we have any other feedback to share. But for now, that is all from our end. And thank you from the team at DataraFlow. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, sir.
you're welcome. Do have a great day ahead.
Yeah, you too, sir.